MWM, schematic, jade carved canopy bed, WTS plus. Void Vision says, plus Malev. John 1-117 says, plus and Malev. New Phantom says, plus 1 Tempest. Moixx says, plus Malev. Sokolinka says, plus MYRK. Praetor 89 says, 1 DPS for Tempest second BOS. Don Delurkage says, plus Malev. Batu Vito says, Van Valaki Aki Se Gaitan Bazani Corruption O Kitebong Scale Reach Ben. Lavonas says, 562 Healer LFG Tempest or Lazarus. Freeze says, LFM1 Tank and 2 DPS Dynasty M1 Group Finder. Cure Jack says, plus Malev. Tayu Khan says, WTS, infused leather boots of the century. Sherlock 7 says, plus Malev. Zomerin says, LF1 DPS min 600 Tempest second boss. Deathka says, heal 625 full ward LFG M10 Dyna. D. Aikman 1976 says, plus Malev. Lilith Stark says, plus 1 Julianas. Vortex UK says, plus Malev. Logis says, plus Malev. Praetor 89 says, 1 DPS for Tempest second boss. Zomerin says, LF1 DPS min 600 Tempest second boss. Lavonas says, 562 Healer LFG Tempest or Lazarus. Zomerin says, LF1 DPS min 600 GS Tempest second boss. Kaya Guy says, plus mines. Neketsu says, old ring of the sage, old earring of the occultist, old ring of the cleric, WTS. Praetor 89 says, 1 DPS for Tempest second boss. Sokolinka says, plus Malev. Bad Spawn says, plus Malev. Sokolinka says, plus Malev. Imadlo Zagladi says, plus Malev. Void Vision says, plus Malev. Jangot says, LF DPS Tempest. Little Riverlord says, what's the best exp for jewelry expertise? Shepper 88 says, plus Malev. Sokolinka says, plus Malev. Boban Mali says, plus Malev. M0R94 SME says, last DPS depth M2GF. Sokolinka says, plus Malev. Neuin says, what is Malev? Clayman says, plus Malev. Centron says, bow of the Enchantress. Sokolinka says, plus Malev. Dirun Card says, plus Malev. Hyper SXX says, loaded dice, WTS. Sarkis 2011 says, make gems into stardust. Arkandranova says, next run D. Lavonas says, 562 Healer LFG Tempest or Lazarus. Arkandranova says, MNES. Joska says, plus Malev. Sokolinka says, plus Malev. Frolson says, plus Malev. Timilian says, Malev INV me. Arkandranova says, next run MNES. Mr. Mikazuki says, plus Malev. Ex-provider says, plus Malev. Fee says, plus Malev. AVOS Frights says, plus Malev. Nishan says,